Hey everybody, Adam Savage here in my cave with a mailbag gift that it's Friday. It's like 4 o'clock. I was just ready to go home when I went over to the tested offices and found this thing. What is that? Oh, okay. I was just about to go home. It's 4 o'clock on a Friday. And I went over to the tested offices, and there was a mailbag gift for me that I immediately wanted to bring home. And I know myself that if I bring it home, I'm not going to end up doing a show and tell about it, and it's worth a real show and tell. So, there we go. This came from Steve Powers, and Steve says, I hope this email finds you well and that you enjoy the box I have attached. He sent me a box. I'll show it to you in a minute. My kids and I are huge fans from the beginning of Mythbusters and always appreciated bringing a scientific approach to even the most absurd situations. My son, who is 20, I'm sorry if he said anything important on fire. My son, who is 20 now, always had a knack for science, and after watching Grant, wanted to grow up to be an electrical engineer. Yes, I've heard that story a lot. Once he got his hands on high school chemistry, though, there was no turning back, and he is now in his third year of college to be a chemistry teacher. Hell's bells, that is awesome. I'm a boiler operator at a paper mill in Tacoma, Washington, where we make paperboard. This is an example of the paperboard they make. 100% recycled materials like cardboard, old books, and even egg crates. He gets the chance to watch a lot of tested content and is a bit of a maker. He's fascinated by walking sticks. Me too. I was recently in Japan, and I was hiking in Japan, and one of the things that happens when you're hiking in Japan is that often at the beginning of a trail is a bin full of bamboo walking sticks for you just to take and then leave when you get to the end of that trail. It's highly civilized. Steve was arranging his shop and he came across this box. It's an old project that he never got going, and after watching a recent show about my love of boxes, he decided to move it over to my workbench. He found the box at a garage sale about 14 years ago, and the older woman said that her husband was an engineer at Boeing and that he made this box to house some sort of fancy instrument back in the 60s or 70s, but that she didn't know what. He had recently passed and she was downsizing. But he never did figure out what to do with it. Perhaps I was meant to rescue it for you. Please enjoy it. P.S. Really, man, thank you for your inspiration. Your kind words of encouragement towards making and anti-gatekeeping have carried me, and I'm sure countless others, through some rough days. Me too, man. Never doubt the difference you've made in the world. Steve, the letter is moving and lovely, and I really thank you for taking the time to write it. And ladies and gentlemen, when you see this box, don't get me wrong, I think it's a thumbnail, but look at this thing. Look at this thing. Holy shit. I rarely curse on camera on this channel, but this thing is such a masterpiece. This is... I am moved almost beyond words. I would like to say that I'm always talking about the axiom that you hand me something. If you hand me something that somebody makes, I can tell you what I know about them. And I'm looking at this thing, this box, made out of clearly scrap aluminum, right? This is, whoever built this was a high-level professional who was also not interested in making you wonder if this was a product or not. They used the actual label on the aluminum. They did not polish it. They did not sand it out. I can tell this is 040, that's 40 thousandths, or 1 millimeter thick. 75 ST aluminum. It has, the clasps are, actually, let me tell you the clasps. Hold on. Clasps are so pretty that I cannot read them. The Eagle Lock Company. Terryville, Connecticut. Terryville? Terryville? I'm from Terrytown. Made in USA. Terryville, Connecticut. The Eagle Lock Company. I mean, okay, so this is old aircraft aluminum. That's that green tinge on it. It is riveted together with aircraft rivets. The ones, oh yeah, I just can't even tell you. Everything about it just speaks to a master of their craft, an absolute master. I'm going to shoot some B-roll of this because it's just so beautiful. Again, this was made by a professional. This doesn't even feel like he labored over it. It feels like it was that easy. The pieces of aluminum that make up the faces don't even meet each other because they're held about 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters apart by these corner pieces. The Mary of the lid is chef's kiss beautiful. He's included this an extra bit of thickness, just an extra piece here and here on the inside for thickness, probably also for some stability. And he's flushed the rivets out here. These are absolutely super flush, like airplane. I mean, these are all aircraft rivets, clearly. I just can't even. These corners. So let's just be clear. This piece of aluminum starts here, goes here, comes around here, and back down. Up, over, across, over, and down. That's just showing off. This isn't angle iron. He bent this himself. This is not aluminum corner stock, I do not imagine. And his bends here, this bend matches this bend. Matches! Yeah, I'm turning into Bobby Brady. My voice is changing. This piece comes down here, over and across and down here. This one comes down here, over and across and down here. These side pieces, which also provide a little extra encouragement for lining up. This is coming home with me. This is going to be something important, honestly. It is one of the, Steve, I can tell you, this is one of the lovelier boxes I have gotten in memory. I am not even going to try and really do too much cleaning. I'm just going to give it a kind of a rub down here. There's very little to be done. Oh, and this handle. Look at this handle. It buckles in both places. It is in excellent shape. Oh, this one actually, it's going through the wrong hole here. So I just want to repair that for a second. Yeah. Amazing. It is in such good condition. I'm just gobsmacked. Yes. So that's it. It goes up like this, and then this comes up like this. And this comes in, comme ça, and goes in like that. It is rare when something 30 or 40 years old comes in with a piece of leather that is in as good shape as it is. I've got a little bit, I am going to throw a little bit of leather preservative on there because I've got some. I've got a chemical specifically for old leather. Where is it? Where is it though? Color paired. Okay, it's not in there. Oh, you leaked it sometime. hold on. Okay, apparently I don't have. All right, I'll try this leather restorer. Right. I just want to get a little bit on here. Just there, just so it starts to wake up again. It deserves a little love after all these. Still crazy after all these years. Ah, still crazy. Still crazy. I'll give this a little more attention, but let's just let that soak in. Oh. Let that soak in. Let that soak in. B-roll. He's left the lettering here. 75 ST aluminum 040 040 040. Okay, look at this. This piece of aluminum comes up here, bends around here. What goes over here? Across and down. Oh my gosh. Look at these. Does that say something? No, it doesn't quite say something. Handmade aluminum angle iron. This is the work of a master. Steve Powers, I am in your debt. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I could not be more. I feel seen. That you knew I would love this. I really feel seen. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for joining me for this wonderful, wonderful mailbox special unboxing show and tell. I'll see you next time. Okay, I know I wrapped up this video about the box here, but I have more to say. I've spent the last week with this thing. Okay, maybe 5 days. I gave it a little bit of a scrubbing with a soft rag and just some water. And after careful examination, and I took a flashlight to all the parts and pieces of this, what I find is almost a total lack of evidence of any kind of actual use. Like, if this was meant to house an instrument of some kind, one would expect to see on the insides of this the evidence of an object that it held. And it's almost impossible for an old thing not to end up with some of that evidence. There's no way you can build a box unless you built a box made out of, that was housed in soft cloth. This is a long way of saying the inside and outside of this is unsullied by use, as far as I can tell. And so that had me revise my thinking about this, that because the maker left all of the surfaces as they are with their delineations of aircraft grade material, even the hinge is aircraft grade, and I can tell because it's got a stamp in it every few inches. You know, this is so that the people taking apart the material can know where it comes from and that it's rated for the aircraft use. So I think that this box is in fact more of a prototype. I think that's what it was. I think it was a prototype. And as such, I got to tell you, it's a masterpiece. I know I've already said this. But just like the more I look at this, the more I see the double line here on the top and bottom just to allow a mating surface that stays sacrosanct. This little angle here that just works perfectly on both sides. This is the work of a careful, meticulous, loving maker who has, I think, looking at this, a tremendous eye for proportion. yeah. This thing is magnificent. It gets better the more I look at it. I'm still thinking about what I want to put in it, about what it might house. And I have some ideas, but those will take shape over the next few months. Just, I wanted you to hear my further thoughts because, yeah, this doesn't look to me like it was ever put into any kind of daily use unless it was like a lunchbox. But even then, I would expect to see some kind of evidence of a thermos bouncing around in there, and I don't. So I think this box has lived its whole life without being utilized for something, and I would like to remedy that. So that is, it's going to live here in the cave, and eventually it will find its purpose.